Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're talking about laser rangefinding bow sights, and not just any laser rangefinding bow sight. Today we're talking about the Burris Oracle, but all laser rangefinding bow sights come with this annoying cable, right? So this cable basically comes down, and if you go by the manufacturer specs, they give you a piece of Velcro, you stick it here, it falls off, pain in the butt, it's all over the place. Today's video, we're gonna talk about how to clean that up with just a few inexpensive things and make you a little bit more efficient in the field. So here we go. All right, the Burris Oracle. It's my favorite bow sight I've ever owned. It's a laser rangefinding bow sight. A little expensive, but you know what? When you really get down and think about it, you pay this much for a rangefinder, you pay this much for a bow sight. That little bit of difference in between there is the convenience. And I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference when you're in the field. I had spent, maybe a day or two with this bow sight and shot a buck in Maryland. And I noticed that this cable kept getting in the way. And this cable was annoying when I'd put my quiver on and off. I'd try to use what they have here to hide it. Still kind of got in the way. I quickly came up with an idea that I think could help everybody, especially you, if you have this bow sight, that can basically help you clean this up so it's a little bit more efficient in the field. So three of the items you're gonna need. Bandage wrap. It's a self-adhesive bandage wrap. It's very easy. I got this at Walmart, I think for like $3. This is just old hockey sports tape that you can find, Walmart, Dick's, wherever you go. And if you got a little bit of super glue, grab some super glue. And guys, you can find these at Staples or Office Depot. These are clip-on cable organizers. They're the mini versions, okay? All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna take one of these out of the case. They come with self-adhesive backing. I don't trust it, especially in the cold. I hunt a lot of cooler temperatures. So I go ahead and take that off, and what I'll do, grab a little bit of my super glue, put it on the back, not much, just a tiny little dab. And I'm gonna stick this right here on my riser. And I know this is out of the way because I've already put my quiver on and I know exactly where I can and can't go. So that's gonna stick there, and you're gonna want that vertically, up and down, right? All right, once you got your cable clip here on the riser, you're gonna wanna go ahead and take your cable, tuck it in the cable clip that comes already pre-manufactured with the Burris Oracle. And then what I'll do is I'll just push this right in here, and it almost snaps in like it was meant to be. So next you're gonna wanna bring this down, and you're gonna wanna figure out exactly where you want your button. Now this may take a few times. You may go out and shoot and find that the button's a little too low, too high. So what I like to do is take that piece of Velcro that they do send with you, and I'll stick it on the back of this, stick it on here, and I'll go out and shoot until I find exactly where I want that button to be, and I'll go ahead and make a little mark. I've already made this. I've actually just taken it apart, so I'm just gonna put it right back where I want it to be. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take that bandage, right? This bandage is super, super simple. The best part, and the reason I chose to go with this bandage, is because it's soft and I can wrap around that button without depressing that button. Actually, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take one wrap around here, just because I'm doing this by myself. Take one wrap, now I've got this, I can control it with one hand. I'm gonna take this cable. I know my button goes right about there. So I'm gonna come down underneath the button, and I'm gonna wrap that real tight. Meanwhile, I'm gonna come back up here, push this cable up into my riser shelf here. So now it's securely tightened against, and I'm just gonna do another tough wrap around down on the bottom. Now, once you get to this point, you're gonna go over your button, but you're gonna go real, real loose. You're not gonna crank it real tight, because what that's gonna do is gonna depress your button. So get your button where you want it, go over it real soft. And then once you get on the other side, you can go ahead and pull it tight again so you know it's not going anywhere. And then what I just do is I just like to go over down underneath it one more time. And I'm good to go. All right, at this point, you can pretty much stop. I've stopped before. The only reason I added this was just to help protect it with a little bit more weathering. So what I do here is basically just go in and I do the exact same thing with my sports tape or hockey tape, whatever you want to call it. And I'll come in. I won't do as tight of a wrap down the bottom. It's not that big of a deal. But I'll start from the bottom up. And I'll show you why that in a second. And once I go over the button, soft over the button again. Make sure you're not pulling too hard on the back side. And then I'll stop right there. Give it a cut. Down. And there we go. And yeah, that pretty much does it. So the reason I start from the bottom and work my way up with the tape, it's kind of just like shingles on a roof. First layer, second layer, if water or anything comes on, it'll bead off and go over the next piece of tape rather than tucking up underneath. So just something to keep in mind when you're doing it. Once you go back over that button, guys, that's the biggest, most important thing. Just make sure you're loose over the button. You can be tight everywhere else. You can even go above the button to be tight again if if your button's a little bit lower than mine. But yeah, it's a simple, quick, very inexpensive technique that I've used that I found that works really, really well. The button no longer falls off from the Velcro. My cables are clean. It looks clean. It looks better. It is better. It feels great. Guys, if you haven't had a chance to shoot the Burris Oracle, it's a great bow sight. Definitely get your hands on one just to try it and test it out. I highly recommend it. But guys, if you're shooting a laser range-finding bow sight and you found this, it's going to be helpful for you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the gong so you're alerted when the next video comes out. I absolutely love the Burris Oracle. It's an amazing bow sight. I'm going to go over that in another video. I'll put that video link up here once that video gets published so you can get directly to that video. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, guys, please let me know.